this. Teams first and second respectively in La Liga, the most fierce of rivals. As you can see as well, a cast of stars that few fixtures can offer. Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo start for Real Madrid, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Pedri for Barca. We'll get to the full team news shortly, with Kylian Mbappe only fit enough for the bench. Plus the extraordinary drama that unfolded last night centred around tonight's match referee. We're going to get to all of that. But first, alongside me, Rod Daly, tonight on Premier Sports is Terry Gibson. Terry, a first Clasico Cup final since 2014.
Yep, it's always a spectacular game between these two teams. It's a spectacle. And what we've seen in the stadium before the game as well, they've certainly pulled all the stops out. It's a magnificent game of football. It's watched throughout the world. People want to see these teams play. People want to see these players play. And at the moment, two teams in very different positions, but I am eagerly anticipating an exciting affair.
A reminder from the 26,000 Barcelona supporters that Barca are the most successful team in this competition's history. And let's see if Madrid deliver, as that message so does down at their end, that they will keep fighting until the end. The teams step out tonight for El Clasico. Two teams still fighting it out for La Liga, but their immediate focus on tonight's Copa del Rey final. And who knows the potential ramifications for the winner and loser of this in Seville beyond tonight. But right now, Barcelona still want their treble. Real Madrid want their double. And Barca tonight, Terry, the favourites for the game.
Well, they're going to a fantastic run of form. It's 12 wins and a draw in the last 13 La Liga games. Safe passage to the semi-final of the Champions League. And they go into this fixture tonight knowing they've beaten Real Madrid away from home 4-0 in La Liga. In the Spanish Super Cup, there was a 5-2 victory for Barcelona. So everything in the garden is rosy for Barcelona, but I promise you, don't underestimate a wounded Real Madrid. Write them off at your peril. Difficult tonight with no Mbappe, that makes life tougher for them. But we always expect something spectacular when Real Madrid are wounded and they're in trouble. And Ancelotti's team, more than not, often do fight back.
Well, these are the scenes in Seville as Hansi Flick and Carlo Ancelotti denied the chance to meet up yesterday as part of their media obligations because of Real Madrid not committing to them. But they do embrace tonight. Hansi Flick looks to become the first Barcelona coach to win his first 3 Clásicos, but first, the national anthem. These teams will do battle again in just 15 days' time. Royal attendance too, of course, for the Copa del Rey final. But as Terry mentioned, the 2 encounters already this season, 4-0, 5-2 in Barcelona's favour. And given Real Madrid's recent results and their elimination to the hands of Arsenal in the Champions League, this is big for them tonight, especially to try and stop Lamine Yamal out there.
Yeah, they're backed into a corner. They will be fighting and scrapping. I expect it to be a tempestuous affair. It's going to be full-blooded, but Barcelona will want to try and impose themselves on Real Madrid. Real Madrid probably playing on the counter-attack. It's going to be interesting to see where Jude Bellingham does play. He can play between the 2 front players. He can play wide left in the midfield 4. Be interesting to see what Ancelotti has gone with. But for Barcelona, tried and trusted, it's the same setup. If Lewandowski was fit, he would be playing, and that would probably be their strongest 11 if Alejandro Baldi was available at left back as well.
Top of La Liga by 4 points. Real Madrid in second. And these are the teams tonight. Wojciech Szczesny does start, despite the fact Barca trailed on social media. It might be Ter Stegen. He's back on the bench after injury. Gerard Martin gets the nod at left back with Balde out. The midfield's no surprise. And we expected this front line in truth with Robert Lewandowski out. Ferran Torres will lead the line instead. Well, yesterday's pre-final drama was quite something. Match referee Ricardo de Burgos Bengoechea breaking into tears during his pre-final press conference about the criticism aimed at him by Real Madrid TV. There was talk of Real Madrid wanting a different referee, potentially boycotting the final since they've denied that. But there's no doubt that the referees tonight, as a result, a lot of pressure on them here, Terry.
Yep, and this is totally wrong what Real Madrid do. They do it on a regular basis, but because of this game, of course, it's very high profile.
Mendy comes back in for Real Madrid for the first time after 6 weeks out with a hamstring injury. It's packed full of central midfielders. We see if that can stop Barcelona playing. And with Mbappe, due to his ankle issue, only on the bench, it's the front two of Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior.
Yep, and as I say, Robert, it's going to be interesting to see how they line up. Is it going to be different tactics from Real Madrid at the start of the game? They're a little bit more conservative. They don't want Barcelona to get off to a flyer. I expect Barcelona to dominate possession. Real Madrid to play on the counter-attack. They'll be hoping Real Madrid they don't concede in the early stages of the game and find a footing, find a foothold, find a way to try and compete with Barcelona, because they haven't been able to do that so far in the 2 games this season.
You are looking at the recently renovated Estadio La Cartuja in Seville. Upgrades completed just in time for the final. There was talk it wouldn't be ready for the final, but it is. The athletics track is gone. You can see the additional seating now.
5 weeks ago, there wasn't any grass in the stadium, so it'd be interesting to see. Hopefully that holds up well and doesn't contribute to any mistakes or whatever, or injuries during this match.
Well, you may have spent your entire Saturday watching football already, but what a way to finish. A Clasico with a cup at the end of it. Barcelona versus Real Madrid for the 2025 Copa del Rey. 31 and 20 titles respectively.
Well, they've certainly waited all day in Spain, haven't they? It's 10 o'clock local time, kick-off. If we do have extra time, we'll be playing on Sunday. But it is warm in Sevilla, even at this stage of the year, relatively early in the late spring, early summer. It is warm, hence the reason it has been played, kicking off at 10 o'clock at night.
We've seen videos of the fans on social media, and some of them looking a bit worse for wear by the end of the day.
All day. They've been celebrating, eagerly anticipating the game, and hopefully they've all made it. No one's fallen asleep and knocked off.
Early out ball here for Rafinha, who kicked into life for the first time, and he was too eager to move that on to Ferran Torres. And here's Jude Bellingham on the ball for the first time, peeling out to the left side.
This is how Barcelona play. We haven't seen too much of them this season. They press really high up the pitch. They have a high defensive line. They move to catch teams offside. They caught Real Madrid offside so many times in the game that they won 4-0 in La Liga. So Real Madrid will adjust. They'll try and break down and beat this offside trap. But it's intense, it's fast and furious, and they will try and play everything in the attacking half of the pitch.
Shifted out by Pedri to Gerard Martin. Ferran Torres, great touches, and he's got away from his defender, and a combination of Tchouaméni and Rudiger deals with that.
Just about. There we see the first breakthrough from Barcelona, which will concern Real Madrid. This was all far too easy. Real Asensio makes a risky challenge. Ferran Torres skips over it. I thought he was going to shoot. Didn't fancy his chances of beating Courtois at the near post, and it almost did fall into the path of 2 of his teammates attacking the 6-yard box.
First Barcelona corner, and Dani Olmo stands over it. Good ball, and Jules Koundé had got free of his marker.
He's one of those cheeky players, Jules Koundé. When you're marking players from Barcelona, there'll be bigger players to mark, and he falls into that category of maybe Real Madrid's 3rd or 4th tallest player, marking him, and he's really, really good in the air. He's not the tallest of players, but he has a real good leap, so I'm surprised that he was left relatively unopposed there. And a sharp start from Barcelona, which I expected.
Rudiger pumps it upfield, and it looked like Real Madrid had lost it. They have now. Is Inigo Martinez. In a stellar season for Barcelona at centre-back. Pedri. Into Rafinha works it with Ferran Torres, and they're around Real Madrid again. Gerard Martin, a bit more composure, they could have made something of that.
Yep, they're attacking down the left flank, aren't they, which isn't a surprise. Most teams that play Real Madrid with Lucas Vazquez at right back do attack down the left flank. So you haven't seen too much of Lamine Yamal. It's been the fullbacks and Gerard Martin on that occasion breaking forward into the left wing position. Rafinha tucking across into a more central role. Interesting looking at Real Madrid's lineup. It's almost like a 4-1-4-1 with Vinicius up front on his own, Rodrigo played out on the right side, and Dani Ceballos playing on the left side of the floor, Bellingham alongside Fede Valverde in central midfield. I must admit that's not something I've seen Ancelotti and Real Madrid do this season.
He's certainly been playing the formation, isn't he, recently, admitting that he hasn't been able to find the right balance to the group yet.
No, you can see Tchouaméni was sitting deeper than the other midfield four. There's lots of bodies back in position. They can't be passive, they have to go and close down the Barcelona players. It's not just enough to get bodies back behind the ball. You can see there Dani Carvajal, Camavinga, Eder Militao, and missing this game through injury. Two of those long-term injuries. And I think Camavinga is going to be out for the rest of the season.
A groin issue picked up against Getafe in the week, as they believe anyway ended his season. Still the Club World Cup to come, we'll see if he returns with that, of course. Vinicius. Remember that one, the first offside of the game, Terry?
Offside number one. Astonishingly, Barcelona have had 30 goals against them this season that have been disallowed for offside, over 30 goals. And it's what they do. It's risky. It does fall apart sometimes. A couple of weeks ago, last weekend against Celta Vigo, conceded 3 goals, were 3-1 down with 10 minutes to go. Did win 4-3, but it was one of those untidy displays. Alejandro Balde not playing. It does mean it's a slight change in the back four, and can Gerard Martin be in queue with the rest of his teammates in that defensive line in terms of playing that offside trap.
Rodrigo makes the interception, and this is the injured group for Barcelona who have still travelled with the team, including Balde and Robert Lewandowski, who would appear, reports suggest, will miss the 2 legs of their Champions League semi-final. Turn this around into the second half. That's the big question in Seville at half-time. And will they turn to Kylian Mbappe? How fit is he? Will he come on? At the break, it is Barcelona 1, Real Madrid 0.
Their attacking options. Truly brilliant footballer. And he has been, in my opinion, fantastic this season for Real Madrid. So just a 1-goal deficit after being totally outplayed in the first half. Kylian Mbappe coming on. Real Madrid do have a chance.
A look and a smile at the camera from Lamine Yamal. And a little look over his shoulder at the sight of Real Madrid's number 9 emerging. So wait and see which of the 11 does not emerge here. What can Real Madrid do better? They had 36% of the ball in that first half and 1 shot compared to Barcelona's 9.
Yep, the percentage of possession they won't be too bothered about that. But they didn't carry a threat on the counter-attack, and when they're at their best, they're exhilarating on the counter-attack. They can be lethal on the counter-attack, and this player adds to that. With his pace, the question of beating the offside trap, getting a little bit more time on the ball, hoping the the Barcelona performance slows down a touch in the second half. It doesn't normally, but they have put a lot of effort into the first half tonight, Barcelona. Can they keep it up for the 90 minutes?
33 goals for Mbappe this season, as many as Cristiano Ronaldo had in his debut campaign for Real Madrid too. Carlo Ancelotti booked in the first half, such were his frustrations. But Vinicius Junior, who's been tasked with playing up front, might be able to be accommodated in a more familiar position, having failed to really impact the game. A new spot on Terry, it is Rodrigo who makes way for Kylian Mbappe, who enters this Clasico Cup final.
Yeah, I'm slightly surprised at that. I think the adventurous change would have been to keep those three up front. Vinicius on the left, Rodrigo on the right, and Mbappe down the middle. Rodrigo hasn't been in good form though in terms of scoring goals, and he was on the periphery of the entire first 45 minutes in this match.
He was Real Madrid's hero in the previous Copa del Rey final success in 2023. Here against Osasuna, who scored both goals, Rodrigo. But Pedri, the goal scorer, with a lovely turn and further reinforcing the view that he's one of the best around. Ferran Torres does collect. No free kick given against Tchouameni, who's on a yellow, let's not forget. Rafinha in towards Dani Olmo. Lamine Yamal. And he tests Courtois for the first time.
Skips inside, doesn't he? Very predictable, Lamine Yamal, but impossible to stop. It's another player used to be like that for Barcelona as well. Can't think of his name.
Escapes me now. Escapes me now.
Yeah,
yeah, pretty handy.
Scored about 1,000 goals.
Away by Fran Garcia into open field. Here's Frankie de Jong. Out to Rafinha, who certainly was popping up in plenty of central areas in that first half.
Yeah, I think he does do that, but he a little bit more in this game than he normally does. I mean, you don't score 30 goals and make as many goals as he has by playing, hugging the touchline in the same way that Lamine Yamal does on the right flank. Maybe he feels with Lewandowski not playing tonight, he could lend a hand to Ferran Torres in the central attacking role.
Pedri floats and collects from Lamine Yamal. Barcelona games this season have averaged 4 goals a match. Most of any club in Europe's top 5 leagues. Rafinha belts it into the arms of Courtois, who holds well.
He certainly pinged that one, didn't he? In a relatively short backlift. No trouble for Thibaut Courtois. Pretty central again.
Towards Mbappe for the first time. Like a foul by Bellingham, and it is. Certainly seemed to have his arms on Dani Olmo there.
I think it's a clear foul, and Real Madrid are doing far too much complaining when it comes to the referee. You saw them at half-time with their protest. I think they got away lightly in the first half. Some of the challenges that weren't
caution.
Yeah.
Good running and a shot as Pedri looks for another spectacular goal from distance.
A real major change in the performance of Real Madrid at the start of the second half. We're only up to the 4-minute mark, but again it's normal service resumed with Barcelona dominating possession, and able to do it in a slower manner with more controlled possession from Barcelona in the second half. Frankie de Jong running the show in midfield.
Courtois had 3 options to go short in his penalty area, but they didn't like the whole situation. It goes long. Here's Bellingham. Oh, brilliant from Bellingham. Plays in Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Szczesny with a save, and again. I think that was creeping inside his near post.
Well, the first legitimate saves of the game from Barcelona's player, recently retired Polish goalkeeper Szczesny. Bellingham does fantastically well, and it's a decent effort from Vinicius on the first one. Follow-up is pretty good as well. Needs saving again from Szczesny. That's better from Real Madrid.
Extraordinary work from Jude Bellingham. He's been the player really to get them going when they have got going tonight. Rudiger up, and a tango with Inigo Martinez has resulted in a Barcelona goal kick.
Head injury. There are appeals from Real Madrid. I'm not sure if they're appealing for anything other than it should have been a call for them, but this was the attempt from Vinicius. Excellent save from Szczesny, and again, great reactions to get up and get down again to his left.
Wojciech Szczesny, brought out of retirement by Barcelona, having left Juventus at the end of last season, and called it a day. Said it was the kind of call you can't turn down, and he's only suffered one defeat since coming into the team.
It's good to have friends in high places, isn't it? Lewandowski recommended him, made the phone call, and he's playing in the Copa Del Rey.
Dani Olmo collected from Rafinha. Valverde barking at teammates. Encouragement though for Real Madrid, having had their best chance of the entire game there through Vinicius. But Real Madrid haven't looked comfortable from these, and it's in by Dani Olmo, away by Rudiger, back in by Rafinha. And Pedri stops that reaching Vinicius. Lamine Yamal off the ball, down. He's in a heap, and Barcelona play on without him. Might as well get back involved, actually.
Yep. Barcelona get this possession is slower from Barcelona in the second half. It's easier, if anything.
Dani Olmo, Frenkie de Jong. Pedri, lovely stuff from Barca. Gerard Martin. De Jong again.
Yeah, Barcelona can keep the ball all day here.
Koundé. Ferran Torres. Rafinha. There wasn't offside in there.
Yeah, Real Madrid have got to show more purpose in terms of getting the ball back. The onus is on them. The clock will run down pretty quick. And Barcelona will kill the game by playing lengthy spells of possession, in the belief that eventually space will open up and they'll punish Real Madrid.
Ceballos shut down by Kubasi. Here's Lamine Yamal. Fran Garcia and Rudiger's combined effort deal with it. The 17-year-old calls for a rally from the Blaugrana support in the stands.
Again, the way they're being brought up at Barcelona now, the 17-year-old, as soon as he lost the ball, straight back to win it back again. He gives away the goal kick, but
Mbappe, Bellingham, pops it over the top, wonderful ball. Mbappe, onside, up against Frenkie de Jong. Still going here, Mbappe, a double step over, Szczesny in the way, Kubasi behind.
He was barely able to move, or barely able to touch the ball in the half-time break when he was warming up. But the adrenaline, he's pumped up now, he knows the challenge is there, he knows a lot is expected of him. And he looks right as rain now, the familiar step-overs, he gets away from Kubasi. Again, Szczesny involved in the action, called into the action twice now in this second half, as opposed to the first half where he barely mentioned his name.
The goal kick's been given. Real Madrid, meanwhile, are making a double change because Lucas Vazquez is being withdrawn here for Luka Modric. Madrid did look vulnerable down his side at times in that first half. And Arda Güler is coming on. Modric actually the club captain of Real Madrid these days. Dani Ceballos off for Arda Güler, who scored the winner in the week against Getafe.
Yeah, it doesn't mean Luka Modric is going to be right back.
Well, there are any defenders back there. Barcelona have completely exposed them here. Dani Olmo, Rafinha drags the pass, and Rafinha, in truth, drags the shot wide. That was 3-on-2.
Yeah, and it was a poor pass from Dani Olmo. He had options. I thought Lamine Yamal was the preferred one. He had more space. But eventually, when he does pass it to Rafinha, I think it's slightly behind him. Lamine has to, which means that Rafinha has to kind of check his stride. Should he be shooting again? I mean, he's been successful enough this season, but there was an opportunity there. But a little bit more composure from Barcelona to score the second goal of the game.
We're only 10 minutes into the second half, but it feels like there are more goals in this. Bellingham gets there first and jabs it onto a teammate, Mbappe. Frankie de Jong there, Mbappe nearly slipping, but still going. Vinicius around Koundé. He had Chesney on the floor, but the goalkeeper grabs it. Appeals for Real Madrid for something, but they do look more threatening since half-time.
Definitely, and it's why are we seeing Real Madrid killing Mbappe on the ball up against Frankie de Jong? That's been 2 or 3 occasions in the second half, and it's a mismatch. Frankie de Jong's a midfield player, holding midfield player, and good composure on the ball, good positional play. But he's no match for Kylian Mbappe when it's 1 against 1.
They were saying this, I think, from Gerard Martin's a back pass. That's what Valverde, you can see here, is adamant. That's an indirect free kick.
Well, Fede Valverde must be right back now, but he wasn't right back then, was he?
I don't think Carlo Ancelotti knew what the appeal was
No
for.
idea what he's appealing for, but he's just joining in with the appeals.
3 chances for Real Madrid, though,
Yeah,
Terry.
much better, more like it from Ancelotti's team. Taking a risk at the back. Barcelona are keeping 3 up. It's 3 against 3 on the halfway line. So Valverde has talked about playing as the right back now. He's pushing right up into midfield. I'm not sure there is a right back.
It's almost like he's leaving 3v3 back there.
Exactly, and Fran Garcia is one of those 3. Rudiger, Raul Asensio. Hansi Flick encouraging these 3 attackers to stay upfield.
Super from Bellingham again, onto Vinicius Junior, and Inigo Martinez shuts down Mbappe.
Life's a lot more uncomfortable now, isn't it, for the centre-backs of Barcelona?
Mbappe looks sharp enough. They've made 4 changes already, Real Madrid. And there's 2 openings for Vinicius Junior since the half-time team talks. Eighth time these sides have met in the Copa Del Rey final. Last beat Real Madrid in the showpiece of this competition back in 1990. Johan Cruyff. Last winners of it in 2021 under Ronald Koeman, and they beat Athletic Club 4-0. Frankie de Jong, Lionel Messi, Antoine Griezmann, the scorers that night. Bellingham. There he is again, Vinicius Junior. And he puts a pretty tame one into the fingertips of Chesney.
Yeah, tough little period for Barcelona, so their supporters are getting behind them. The Real Madrid supporters.
Vinicius! Wow, he flushes that one wide.
Well, the game has turned, hasn't it? If Barcelona give possession away cheaply, Real Madrid have the players to punish them. Despite wretched form in the league and going out of the Champions League in half an hour of football left, Barcelona against Real Madrid. The players down on the pitch now, Real Madrid. All that goes out the window, and they do have the talent to get back on level terms.
Here's Jules Koundé. Back with Szczesny again. Real Madrid have substantially added to their shot count, and their supporters are starting to believe they have the potential to come back here.
Yes, Pedro gives the ball away. Talks about giving the ball away cheaply. He doesn't actually get any curl on the ball, does he, which he's aiming for. But you're right, Rob, it's much sharper, much brighter. It's no choice. They look restricted in the first half with the tactical set-up from Ancelotti, but it's an open game of football now.
Great running from midfield by Dani Olmo. The flick to Ferran Torres is sublime. Rafinha against Asensio. And that's just like his shot from a few minutes ago. 30-goal Rafinha with the opening again.
They can't be this wasteful, Barcelona. It's 1 against 1 again. It's a lack of defensive players for Real Madrid. This is brilliant skill from Dani Olmo. Eyes at the back of his head. Back heel pass. Rafinha is 1 against 1 against Raul Asensio. I think he can do more than that. I don't think he has to shoot as quick as that. And he's miscued it in a fashion just like the one he previously had a few minutes ago. End-to-end stuff now. It's marvellous.
Yeah, far more open game. And Carlo Ancelotti in many ways has opened it up. Says of his own future, anything is possible. Of course, there's much expectation. He will leave at the end of the season and become Brazil head coach. Vinicius again, right away from Koundé, and no foul. The ball was won by Martinez. Frenkie de Jong, the ball forward, and Dani Olmo couldn't trap it.
And again, Rafinha was slow. He could have joined in then, and he might have been able to pounce on that loose ball. There's a goal coming. I have no idea which way it's going, which is brilliant.
Here's Mbappe. Asks a lot of Arda Güler, but Turkey international keeps it in. Modric. Still Modric. Oh, what a ball. Jules Koundé gets it away. This is a different Real Madrid now.
Fantastic game of football. A chance every 90 seconds or so now.
Mbappe. Blocked by Inigo Martinez. Not comfortable getting out now. Hands he flicks side.
No, Barcelona need something different now. For 5-10 minutes, they need Rafinha to drop deeper, need Lamine Yamal to drop deeper to give them the defenders some help. But that won't happen. Hansi Flick will leave the 3 up, and it's going to be an open game of football, and he'll trust these defenders and hope his team can score again, but it looks like Real Madrid at the moment.
Szczesny punches. Modric. Will he keep it? Yes. Arda Güler. Away from Rafinha. Vinicius Junior back post, and the flag is up. We're appealing for handball against Jules Koundé, and the referee says the beat needed perhaps to the video assistant Pablo González Fuertes.
Yeah, they're checking again. There's an offside there immediately. Not when the ball comes in, maybe, but initially in the build-up there was an clear offside.
Well, they wanted the free kick, but Martinez did get a piece of the ball.
It's not a cool look, is it? The Real Madrid players, the Real Madrid bench. Contesting every single decision on the back of what's happened this week.
Tchouameni with the challenge. One Real Madrid outfield player who did get booked in the first half that perhaps could have seen more yellow cards directed at Madrid players. Change now as Dani Olmo makes way for Fermin Lopez. It's the first Barca change, by the way, of the night.
He's had a few bumps and bruises, hasn't he? Well, I think he's been a threat in the second half. His position of play is good. We saw that wonderful back heel, but I do wonder whether he's physically up to playing much more than this at the moment. There's a lot of games this season. It's a courageous change. It's not a negative one at all from Hansi Flick.
Fermin Lopez did start the 4-0 Clásico win at the Bernabeu. Rudiger, and then a little bit of retribution from Ferran Torres.
And from the centre-forward union, put the big centre-half on his backside after he's just knocked you over.
Shifted back by Bellingham to Rudiger, and Courtois takes control of the situation. Rafinha, early ball, and Rudiger sweeps it away from Fermin. Oh, and Rafinha thought he got the ball. Free kick Real Madrid, Arda Güler brought down. Dani Olmo's first taste of the Copa Del Rey this season, of course, having spent his career away from Barcelona's academy in Croatia and Germany. Very heavy from Bellingham.
This is around the time of the Clásico where it does get like this, when it's this close. Pedri isn't one of those that you normally associate with lunging in. Bellingham makes contact with the ball, there's plenty of contact. There's no contact on the ball from Bellingham. It's Arda Güler, I think, who touches the ball. He's clearly not feigning injury.
Inigo Martinez into Fermin. De Jong jabbed to Koundé. Lamine Yamal tries to get away from Fran Garcia. Runs out of pitch, claims there was a touch from the left back.
I didn't think there was. I agree with the assistant referee, but good defending from Fran Garcia. Barcelona don't have control of this game at the moment. It's end to end. They do have the one-goal advantage.
Big chunk of turf gives way as Courtois launches it upfield. They're getting much tighter to Pedri in this half, and Bellingham's won it, and Mbappe springs into life. Was he brought down there? Yellow card is out, and Mbappe saying he's through on the Barcelona goal.
I think he has a point. We talked already in the second half the amount of times Frenkie de Jong has been the player trying to dispossess Kylian Mbappe. It shouldn't have been allowed to continue. Hansi Flick should have come up with something different. Pedri gives the ball away cheaply. When you do that against Vinicius, you're in trouble. He gives it to Mbappe. There's no doubt it's a foul. Players are on the cover. Kubasi, Gerard Martin. I think Frenkie de Jong is aware of that, knows exactly what he's doing, puts an end to that run from Kylian Mbappe. Knows it's going to be a yellow card. It's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position, though. Mbappe taking charge of it. Güler wants to get involved. Luka Modric just on the scene.
Mbappe over it.
at the moment it's a shambles, isn't it? The wall from Barcelona. If the referee allows Real Madrid to take it, they're all over the place. Szczesny has got to take control. It's the four-man wall. Frenkie de Jong closing down on one side. Fermin Lopez on the ground behind the ball. I think another man in the wall might be advisable for Barcelona.
Mbappe goalwards and in! Kylian Mbappe has come on in this final and got Real Madrid level. His first ever Copa del Rey final, and he scored in it. Won the free kick and scores it. It's all level in Seville.
Well, he's punished them. Massive difference since Kylian Mbappe came on. Watching the game last week at the Bernabeu, he was booed by his own supporters. I think he's been astonishing this season. His performance in this game is typical of that. It's a terrible wall from Barcelona. There's too big a gap between Inigo Martinez and Pedri. Goalkeepers have to take more responsibility. They have to take more control. Because if you leave that opportunity, that little gap open for a player like Kylian Mbappe, he will find it. He's been superb. Real Madrid have been better in the second half. It's all level now.
The half-time change rewarded for Carlo Ancelotti. And Real Madrid increasingly in the ascendancy. They've fashioned a number of chances since the break. And Barcelona have gone cold. Lamine Yamal. So headed for extra time as things stand. Gerard Martin in. Fermin Lopez back across, and Courtois commands.
I said there's another goal coming and I don't know which way it was going to come. I regretted it as soon as I said it. I thought, that's it, there's going to be a 1-0 win now. But it was coming, wasn't it? And I had no idea whether it was going to be Real Madrid or whether it was going to be Barcelona. As it's turned out, I knew that Kylian Mbappe would be involved in something along the way. I think Barcelona have only got themselves to blame. They've been wasteful in some really good attacking situations. Yeah, Real Madrid and Ancelotti are going to throw everything at it in the second half. And it almost feels as if Barcelona have been caught by surprise that Real Madrid are playing like this in the second 45 minutes.
Luka Modric. Bellingham pops it along. Here's Frenkie de Jong. Finds Pedri, bit of space now for Pedri, who's been deprived of that since half-time. Koundé, Fermin Lopez. Really good blocks. A bit more intensity as well about Real Madrid.
Barcelona getting the ball again now, and they move the ball quicker again. I talked about how slower the possession was in the second half.
Pedri, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal. It's outstanding from Pedri. Otafada Gula. See that lack of a real centre forward out there for Barcelona. Koundé's cutback, won by Bellingham. He stumbles. Wins it back from Lamine Yamal. Looks to work it with Kylian Mbappe. And they will. Vinicius Junior, he's off. Mbappe with him. Support arriving. Mbappe! Important defending. Real Madrid nearly had the lead for the first time.
Well, I talked in the first half about Real Madrid weren't too fussed about possession because they were breathtaking on the attacking, counter-attacking situations. They weren't in the first half. And I wonder what the difference is. Kylian Mbappe, it's not just Vinicius who's playing up front on his own, it's Mbappe they're dropping deep, and when they're running away from the Barcelona players, it's a mismatch in terms of pace and speed. Frenkie de Jong, he's treading water trying to keep up with them. Inigo Martinez goes to ground. Vinicius gets himself in the penalty box. He's looking to feed Kylian Mbappe. Excellent work from Pau Kubasi.
Things going on in the area. Asensio down. Modric hangs it up. Back out with the Croatian. He surprisingly dithered on the ball there before Rafinha shut him down. Hansi Flick will turn to his bench again, and with Araujo is about to come on.
Well, that will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where he plays. He's obviously a centre-back, can play right-back. It'd be unusual for Hansi Flick to change the centre-back pairing. Araujo is quicker than both of those, which might be playing on his mind, something he's considering.
Inigo Martinez got slightly laboured when Vinicius Junior broke past him a moment ago, deals with that cross.
It's not the first, won't be the last.
Adegula in towards Bellingham. Everything going Real Madrid's way right now.
And they've got a cutting edge now, haven't they? They were toothless in the first half.
We're also going to add Gavi into the mix. Tchouaméni! Just like in the semi-final, Aurelien Tchouaméni comes up big for Real Madrid. They have turned this game around in a way they have so often before. Carlo Ancelotti's changes vindicated, and Real Madrid now believe they're on their way to Copa del Rey glory.
We talk about big-time players. Tchouaméni from the set piece, a number of big players on the pitch now for Real Madrid, tall, muscular players. And I think he's been excellent tonight. It was a real tough gig for him in the first half, being the sole defensive midfield player. It's a comfortable leap. Koundé loses him. Has no idea where Tchouaméni is. Koundé is ball watching. Koundé gets dragged towards the ball. There's the match-up. Koundé goes a yard away from Tchouaméni. Tchouaméni slams it home from close range. But I talked about Real Madrid. When they're not playing well, they can still cause you problems. They can still hurt you because they have individual brilliance. But that, from a set piece, might be the goal that wins them the Copa del Rey.
Scored one just like that in the semi-final against Real Sociedad. And now Barcelona on the receiving end of it. They had complete control of this final, or so it appeared. Rudiger getting strapped up.
He's been bold in the second half, hasn't he, Ancelotti? He made the change at half-time. He's made other further changes. Analysing it tactically, I've no idea who's playing right back for Real Madrid. I think Valverde will go and play, and now his team are ahead. I joked about Modric won't be right back. He has been right back on some occasions. Barcelona have been wasteful on fantastic opportunities. Someone wants to take him off, he's not having it. But they are down to 10. Tchouaméni's dropped into the centre-back position.
2 goals in 7 minutes. Koundé, De Jong shut down, Mbappe with Vinicius running away to his left-hand side. Shut down by Koundé. And Vinicius Junior Can't deal with Frankie de Jong. They can't deal with Barcelona here. In by Lamine Yamal, away by Valverde. It kind of looked like he was at right back there for a moment.
Yeah. I think now to win it, I think we'll see some sort of regular back four.
De Jong.
Rudiger's not there at the moment.
Sprinting back into the scene here as ball's popped in towards Ferran Torres.
We didn't get those changes from Barcelona, did we?
I was just looking at that. No, same team out there.
I guess the needs have changed, haven't they? The changes were going to be made when it was 1-1. Now the training, there is a deficit. Just over 10 minutes plus added on time left. Yeah, I think it's wise to review those changes.
Lopez trying to break around Fran Garcia. Messy but effective and away by Tchouaméni.
Rudiger is back on. Does appear to be hobbling.
Pedri. We do have David Alaba on the bench. Arda Güler, who made the goal for 2-1. As Vinicius... Oh, there was the moment to pass. And it passed. Vinicius gets back onside, collects from Mbappe. Miguel Martinez narrows his angle. But he was offside all along.
Tremendous character shown by Real Madrid, totally outplayed in the first half. Didn't trouble Szczesny in goal at all. But they've rallied, showed a great spirit, great determination, and of course they've always got the talent to turn any game around.
Came into this game, Barcelona having scored 9 times in their 2 matches with Real Madrid this season. Pedri, Lamine Yamal, who might do it, but for the towering figure of Thibaut Courtois.
You thought he had there, didn't you? We could see from our angle, there was curl on it, it was heading towards the far post. The first time he's been allowed to do that tonight, Lamine Yamal, it's textbook from a 17-year-old winger, but read superbly well by Courtois.
Rafinha's ball, way by Valverde. Now there feels such a threat about Real Madrid on the counter-attack, and Pedri knows he just has to get goal side. Vinicius, Mbappe up with him. Lamine Yamal was doing his bit defensively, but there are gaps. Valverde.
Change in atmosphere in the stadium is astonishing as well. The Real Madrid fans were really quiet in the first half. Barcelona would love to have Lewandowski out there, wouldn't they?
Big miss tonight with his 40 goals in 48 games.
Even Balde, I think he's a miss. Joe Martin has done okay, but in an attacking sense, he doesn't give him the same threat as Alejandro Balde. Casado and Bernal were the other injured players there for Barcelona.
You've kind of felt that with Gerard Martin's final ball when he has got into those areas. Fermin Lopez, so Gavi and Hector Fall waiting to come on. Lamine Yamal has popped a ball that's asked a question of Real Madrid, and Ferran Torres has delivered. He's been their go-to man in the Copa del Rey, and how about that tonight in the final? Leading the line in the absence of Lewandowski, and that is some finish to bring it level once more. Courtois beaten, 2-2.
Well, we said it'd be a spectacle, and it is built. It is that. It's been exactly that. It's had a great flow to it. Barcelona dominating, Real Madrid fighting back, taking the lead. Lamine Yamal with a wonderful pass over the top of Rudiger, who's labouring. He has a knock. Courtois comes out. Ferran Torres, so important to get that first touch, but takes it away from the defender, takes it away from the goalkeeper. Then, can he get the finish right? It's got to have the right pace on it. It's got to be accurate. He doesn't want to think about it too much because I promise you, he would miss. So just get it on target, play by instinct. And he's been superb this year. It's back up to Lewandowski, and I'm just, as the words came out my mouth about wouldn't they love to have Lewandowski there tonight, his replacement, Ferran Torres, does it again. And 16 starts, that's his 18th goal this season. A lot of them have come from the bench, but he can be counted on this season.
Yeah, so often Hansi Flick's super sub. But tonight, the starter and goal scorer. We're back, headed towards extra time as Barca make more changes. Gerard Martin off, Araujo on. Well, the changes of the game has changed again, but Gavi does finally come on here for Frankie de Jong, Terry.
Inigo Martinez just slips across the left back. I can't remember the last time we've seen that for Barcelona.
We did see Hector Fort get ready to come on, and he played in that position at the weekend despite being a right back. Tchouaméni. Lamine Yamal, 2 sublime assists for him tonight.
It's been a brilliant game again as well. The expectation levels are often through the roof on these games, but I think when you look at the players for both teams, and it promised a lot and it's delivered.
Isn't quite up to the same level from the 17-year-olds. Tchouaméni, fantastic second half at the Estadio La Catua. Vinicius caught by Koundé. A swing of the leg, and he's asking for a yellow card, which I thought is a yellow card offence in itself.
He's been better in the second half, hasn't he? And it's a clear foul. Possibly a yellow card. Maybe Vinicius waving the yellow card meant that Koundé didn't get the yellow card. Can have that effect on referees. Last set piece was telling. And they can do it again, you know, Real Madrid. Modric with the delivery will be exactly where he wants it.
Ball looked good. Bellingham thought he was about to meet it. Inigo Martinez pumps the ball down the line for Rafinha to chase.
Yeah, that was pretty pointless, Rafinha closing down on his own there because he wasn't backed up by his teammates, and he's been quite disappointing tonight, hasn't he, Rafinha?
He's had a standout season as a Barcelona player, but he's been quiet and wasteful with his chances when they presented themselves. Vinicius Junior. Koundé did brilliantly, and it will be a goal kick. With Militao amongst the injury group, and it's been a long-term injury absence for him and Dani Carvajal this season. Vinicius Junior down, and some activity to suggest.
And there was a gesture from the bench that they were going to make another change, that someone else was down injured as well.
We'll look down the line of players from Endrick to see if there was any activity there.
There wasn't, was there, from Endrick?
Well, he's making his way over to the touchline here with the medical team. Yeah, it doesn't look comfortable, does it?
It's not an impact injury, it must be a muscular problem. That's a blow to Real Madrid. Because that combination and the partnership with him and Mbappe has been massive difference in his second half performance from Real Madrid.
So Brahim Diaz gets the nod ahead of Endrick to replace Vinicius. Positionally, that makes more sense.
And he's a good player. Brahim Diaz is unlucky. He's a super talented player, but unlucky with the players ahead of him. Probably should be putting Rodrigo under more pressure for his position in the regular starting line. It could have been game for Real Madrid.
'90th minute with extra time on the way. Down the line by Martinez, looking for support. Gets it from Ferran Torres. The last Clásico Copa del Rey final was decided by a relatively late goal, that 85th minute wonder effort from Gareth Bale, 11 years ago now. But there are 6 added minutes here for someone to win it before extra time. And a reminder, in 15 days' time, these two will do battle again, live on Premier Sports 1, the home of La Liga. There's a yellow card out here from Ricardo de Burgos Bengoechea.
I think it's for Luka Modric. Yes, it is.
Getting too sharp.
Because he does catch Gabby there. That's not that's a nasty challenge, to be honest. On second view, he looks even worse. You can understand Gabby's frustration. He just returned back from almost a year out of an ACL. And the last person he expected that challenge to come from is probably Luka Modric. And the element of trust probably from Gabby, thinking it's not Rudiger, it's Luka Modric, I'll be okay for this one, he's not going to bury me, but he did.
Valverde's swinging legs out, but Barcelona move with great effect. Modric shacking Pedri. Pedri hands it up to Rafinha. But too much on the pass. He believes that was an opening.
Yeah, and he probably feels that Rafinha could have taken it before it bounced. I think that was the intention from Pedri. Once it bounced, it skipped away, and there was no chance of Rafinha getting on the ball.
Ferran Torres has it. Took a long time to unload the shot in the end. Lamine Yamal. Such a pirouette beyond Tchouaméni. Gula was fouled in the middle of all that. Bellingham, Madrid move. Mbappe.
Valverde stretching off over the right back position as well.
Brahim Diaz nearly got that right for Bellingham. Kunde. Fermin Lopez. Lamine Yamal has it back and ran into Rudiger. The idea was nice, in fact, but there was no support there for Pedri. Yellow card for Fermin for stopping the move.
The flow of this game has been incredible, because since Barcelona scored, they looked the more dangerous team. They looked out of it when Real Madrid were leading 2-1.
Mbappe takes on too much. Lamine Yamal with Arda Güler behind him. He didn't know that. Ferran Torres turns. And he loses his footing.
Jimenez Lopez has just been booked, and that's a crunching challenge on Arda Güler. Ferran Torres claiming of some sort of infringement here. Rudiger might just tap away his ankle. Not sure how much force there was on that. Pulls his leg away, doesn't it? Slightly. There's no doubt that's a foul by Firmino on Arda Güler.
Well, Ferran Torres, look, he's saying that took him off balance.
It did. It almost, his foot slides away, doesn't it? In that direction. On first viewing, I didn't think it was a penalty. It does knock his foot away, doesn't it? And therefore, Ferran Torres, it's impossible for him to keep his balance and stand up. He's had his leg taken away from him.
There's nothing guiltier looking than a player instantly saying, I didn't touch him. And that's exactly what Rudiger did there, having challenged Ferran Torres. But it's Barcelona who are certainly finishing regular time the stronger. Rafinha. Oh, and a lazy leg and a penalty right at the death for Barcelona. It's Raul Asensio. And the referee at the centre of so much of the pre-match talk has just made a huge call right at the end.
Well, Raul Asensio is 100% convinced this isn't going to be given. I don't share his confidence, I have to be honest. Rafinha cuts inside. Rafinha touches the ball. Asensio goes to ground. This will be the right angle. He clatters him. I don't think that VAR are going to turn over that decision from the referee. It's not a clear and obvious mistake. Fede Valverde was missing. He's really struggling fitness-wise. He was labouring back, couldn't get back. Therefore, plenty of space for Rafinha. If they've seen the replay and they're saying it's definitely not a penalty, I think it is. I think when Rafinha, that's the touch. Does he throw himself to the ground? Yes, possibly. Is there contact on the ball from Asensio? I don't think there is. No, there isn't. The referee is in the perfect position. Real Madrid seem confident it's going to be overturned.
Ancelotti wagging his finger in the direction of Ricardo de Burgos, begging Echea. Will the video assistant see enough in any of these replays to suggest what was seen in real time was not correct? The video assistant is checking. And now the anxious wait.
I think something like this happens, you're always looking for non-contact and a dive. There's no dive there. There is contact.
He will be sent to the monitor. Wow. Well, of course, the referee had to be at the centre of the drama, given the way the past 24, 36 hours have unfolded. His tears in his pre-final press conference yesterday about the pressure being put on him by Real Madrid. And Barcelona will now feel that this is not going to go their way. Miguel Echea does not want anyone around him as he reviews the monitor.
Such drama. Always is in these games. It adds to the drama. Asensio's challenge there. The right leg from Asensio and a push on the back. The right leg of Asensio is the one that catches him as well. Rafinha touches the ball first, there's a tangle of legs, there's a push on the back.
Well, that replay seems to suggest that Rafinha was going to ground before the contact. And look, this is, well, all these players technically should get a yellow card here. Now, since Rojo's introduction, he's the captain.
Well, Asensio was confident it wasn't going to be given.
And the referee now is pulling out a yellow card that will be flashed in the direction of Rafinha for simulation. The decision is overturned. That last angle was actually the most compelling we've been shown to this whole point. That Rafinha went to ground before any kind of contact. Nonetheless, it's the arm in the back from the Asensio. Is it overturnable? They have no penalty.
Well, the blessing is we're going to get extra time. And Asensio was right. I thought it was. I thought it was a tangle. I think once Rafinha touches the ball first, I don't see a clear and obvious dive. Yes, he's making the most of it. He knows the importance of getting that touch before Asensio. He's hoping for contact, and there was.
Incredible drama, and we're not done, because this year's Copa del Rey final is going to extra time. Ferran Torres with a super equaliser, 6 minutes from time, and Raul Asensio spared a crushing moment in the early moments of his Real Madrid career to give away a late penalty in a Clasico Cup final. So Carlo Ancelotti to review here with the score at Barcelona 2, Real Madrid 2 in Seville. So Real Madrid will get the extra sub now headed into extra time.
And it's needed. Who do you pick it for? Rudiger's still out there. He's labouring. He's injured. Fede Valverde was on his last legs.
Well, you just knew it was going to go past midnight local time.
And we just knew there was going to be controversy. We knew there was going to be thrills and spills.